Just to let you guys know what you're getting into, there are a handful of Monsters episodes that Wikipedia labels as being, quote, played for laughs rather than horror. This is the first episode to be labeled that way. No, New York Honey wasn't, believe it or not. I guess it was because of the disturbing ending.
All done.
So, through some intentionally obvious exposition, we learn that this story takes place in a world where corpses come back to life once a year as zombies, and shooting them is a family event.
And they eat people. So we gotta shoot them.
Yeah, why don't you just shoot everyone whose ideas you don't agree with?
Also, younger son Bradley is against it.
Well, I think it's lovely the way you take an interest in your father's work.
I suspect it's really just because he's the kind of brat who just automatically goes against whatever his parents do no matter what it is. Older sister Dottie is a bookworm, so she's just gonna stay home.
Now, Brad, Dottie only has a week off from college. If she doesn't want to kill zombies or protest zombie killers...
This show knows exactly what it's doing.
Is there enough to eat in the house, Dottie Ken?
Mom?
All right, I'm just making sure. No child of mine should ever be hungry.
Try serving some decent food.
I can't decide if I love or hate that mother. She's entertaining, that's for sure. So anyway, Dottie is alone and there's a knock at the door.
Who is it?
Paul Nichols from Bay North High.
On a night where zombies are known to be roaming. Yeah, this'll end well. It turns out to be a kid she went to high school with, and is now a zombie. So she calls an emergency number, and it's just...
If the zombie is approaching your house, press 1. If the zombie is in your house, press 2. If the zombie is eating your body, press 3.
I can't even.
Could you open the door?
Oh, you want me to open the door?
Eventually she gives up and opens the door since he was about to bust through anyway.
Can I come in?
Sure, come on in.
Also, she was gonna try to sneak out.
Aren't you gonna shut the door? Would you mind if I sit down?
Sure.
You know there is nothing in the house.
She tries again to find an excuse to leave, but that also doesn't work out.
No, it's not polite. Maybe we should just sit down.
So, this awkward scene happens.
You're beautiful when you scream.
He has a habit of pulling on his earlobe, which is a pretty bad habit to have if you're a zombie. Smooth.
I remember you. The funny guy.
Anyway, it turns out that he's had a crush on her for years. But she eventually remembers that he was the class clown in their French class, and she thought he was hilarious.
I came because I wanted to meet you.
But why didn't you say anything before?
Because I was too shy. But now that I have a second chance, I'm gonna do what I couldn't before. Today is the first day of the rest of my death.
This is weirdly precious. She ends up opening up about how lonely her first year of college has been.
But you're beautiful. You are to me.
Oh boy, here we go. Ew. Some time has passed and now they're bonding over how they both hated high school.
And you walk into class and some guy says, "Hi, dork."
Again, this is kind of sweet if you could get past the obvious parody of it all. But the moment kind of gets ruined when he goes to kiss her hand.
Sorry.
Sorry? You tried to eat me.
I love you, Dottie.
Oh, right. We could never have a relationship. To you, I'd always be part girlfriend, part dinner.
She's not wrong.
I know you zombies. You only have one thing on your minds.
How can I prove I won't eat you?
Only a zombie can say that and have it be something positive.
Dottie, will you marry me?
Well, that's sudden.
You don't want my hand in marriage. You wanted a sandwich.
I made a mistake. I went too far.
Okay, this sounds like it's about something else now. There's actually a lot in this episode that sounds like it's about something other than zombies. Either way, naturally she turns him down, regretfully.
Is it because I'm dead?
We're just too different.
Aw, it sucks to be Paul.
I think you better go.
But he has one last request before he goes.
I'd like to remember that you and I were friends. So, can I sign your yearbook?
That's too cute.
Of course. I'll go get it.
So of course, while she's out of the room, the rest of the family comes back and fears the worst.
You zombie bastard!
Dad!
Stay back! I've got him!
And Dottie ends up getting shot and dying.
Ah!
Kudos to the guy playing Paul. Despite the goofy setting, I totally believe he just lost the only thing he cared about. In fact, he plays this role pretty straight in general, like he doesn't know he's in a parody. And I don't have an issue with everyone else camping it up, but I have to admit that I kinda love this.
I've made a terrible mistake. And it's all due to my fanatical hatred of your kind.
And now it's about racial harmony.
Perhaps one day, in the future, zombies and livers will be at peace.
Livers?
We call you livers.
Livers. But remember, zombies exist in this world, so now Dottie is one.
Sweetie!
Paul! Darling!
Oh my god, what even is this episode? And now they can be together.
I can't believe you letting that ugly monster kiss Dottie.
I thought you liked zombies.
Just because they have rights doesn't mean I like them. They're stupid, ugly, slimy, gross buffalo monsters.
And oh look, Bradley doesn't actually care about zombies after all. What a shock. Or maybe he just didn't like being called a liver. Also, he just pulled the infamous, "I'm fine with them existing as long as they don't date my sister" card.
Monsters can be people who act ugly, who think ugly.
That's really great philosophy, Dad. That's Barfola philosophy.
Also, this kid says the word Barfola at least 3 times per sentence. Be glad I cut most of it out.
You okay, sweetie?
Actually, I guess I'm a little hungry. I have this tremendous craving for fresh...
So now Paul is trying to get Dottie out of there before they get so hungry that they end up eating her family.
Yeah, get out. I never want to see your ugly faces again.
Bradley, that's your sister.
But Mom insists on not letting them leave hungry.
Just realize there's no meat left in the house.
No problem. We'll kill the neighbors. Yeah, we'll kill the neighbors and feed them to the zombies.
Isn't there something you could rustle up for these kids?
I love this ending. Are you ready for this?
Now that you mention it, I think there is some fresh meat in the house.
Haha, fuck that kid. And so ends my zombie lover. So I realize that comedy is subjective, so not everyone will agree with me, but I think this episode is hilarious. It knows exactly how cheesy and dumb it's being, and it revels in it. It even tries to throw in some blatant life lessons, like zombies have rights too, and we should all try to get along. Even that bit where Paul bites Dottie and apologizes that he went too far sounds like he's talking about going too far with intimacy. I also love how the ending just gets really dark out of nowhere. The parents suddenly decide to kill one of their kids, and it's played for laughs. Also, I thought they did a pretty good job with Paul's makeup. He's not the grossest looking zombie, but considering that the setting was sort of a sitcom parody and we're supposed to like him, they had to keep it kinda toned down. Though there is one pretty gross detail. You can see that the skin has pulled away from his neck and it has holes in it, which you can kinda see into, and yeah, ew. Nice detail though. So I'm sure you recognize Dottie as Tempest Bledsoe, aka Vanessa from The Cosby Show. The mom was played by Marcella Lowery, who was a recurring character on The Cosby Show. She played Elvin's mom. Bradley was played by Eugene Bird, who, again, recurring role on The Cosby Show. He played that kid during that 4-part episode where Theo worked at a community center. He also grew up to be pretty damn successful. He was also a regular on Crossing Jordan, a recurring character on Heroes, and a regular on Bones. The actor who played Paul and the dad are character actors, though the dad, Ed Wheeler, was in an episode of Cosby, the second show of you-know-who. This ended up being a game of 6 degrees of that guy who I'm not going to say anything more about. It was written and directed by David Misch, who also wrote 7 episodes of Mork and Mindy and 4 episodes of Duckman, which he also produced. That's about all I have to say about my zombie lover. There's not a whole lot to say about a story that has such a straightforward plot that's a comedy, except that it definitely works on that level. Next up is Where's the Rest of Me? See you then.
You must really like my meatloaf.
Barfola, but I don't want to starve to death.
Oh, honey.